You might have heard of a book called Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. And in this book, he describes a concept he calls pendulum. And it is not one of these. What he's actually referring to is invisible energetic structures which feed on our emotional energy. He calls them entities created from the collective energy, I believe. Because when our energetic field and our nervous system interact with the collective energetic field, there are effects on both sides. And the effects are nuanced but very complex. Pendulums use our emotions to swing, and they don't care if those emotions are negative or positive. They feed on any emotional charge. They feed on fear, guilt, regret, anxiety, despair, but they also feed on affection and admiration, and the list is very long. The pendulum has one rule, one golden rule, and that is do as I do, which means don't be original, copy the stereotype, change yourself. And sadly, the pendulum's rule is what defines normality. And what is normal? How can we define normal when not two of us are identical? Eventually, when we give in to the influence of a pendulum, we find ourselves in all sorts of rather destructive situations because a pendulum swing means a life, a lifeline, a timeline of imposed goals in unimposed reality, which is not one of our choosing. The easiest way to observe a pendulum at work is through politics, where you see people emotionally attached and arguing endlessly, while their arguments is what keeps this structure not only alive, but with every argument it grows stronger and stronger. And it doesn't matter if you're blue or red, every argument gives it another push. And that's how the pendulum works. So, how do we stop feeding a pendulum? The most important thing is not to fight it, because when we resist something, we are still giving it our energy. And this is why when it rains, it pours, because one incident happens and we keep thinking about it, how we don't want it to happen again. So we don't want to fight a pendulum, but we still want to win against it. So to win against a pendulum, there are three steps. The first step is to notice where your energy shifts rapidly. And I'll give you an example. You can see a comment of anybody, and within seconds, you are filled with either rage or love and hope. It can be any emotion, but it happens within a few seconds. The second step is to reduce the emotional charge. Don't fight it, don't suppress it, just let it be. So, if something upsets you, don't go with it. That was just a little note to myself. So, I will give you an example. Let's say there is a certain rumor about some free money coming to everybody, and which is owned to us. which could be true, but I personally don't think it is. Because when I did believe in this, every time I saw news about it, I felt my heart filled with hope. And it wasn't real. Because if I stayed hoping that a savior will come and save me, I wouldn't have made any of these videos. The third step is you redirect your attention with intention. And this is where alchemy starts. In other words, the only way to win against the pendulum is to become neutral, not indifferent, not apathic, but neutral. Just like pure energy, which has not been charged, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful kind of energies in manifestation. Think about how beautiful it is to have a conversation with a person without an agenda. That's it. So don't be afraid to break the pendulum's rule. Set your own standards and act as if it is your God given right to break that rule. Because it is. You were born to be yourself.